man is behind bars after a woman's body was found on the side of a highway early this week after falling out of the car she was travelling in. At around 12:13 a.m. on Monday the 5th of June, authorities responded to a call of a body found northbound along Interstate 89 in Hopkinton, New Hampshire, near the 7-mile marker. When troopers arrived, they found a deceased woman in the breakdown lane of the highway. She was unable to be identified at the time. New Hampshire State Police described her as 5'1", 111 pounds, 18 to 30 years old, with fair skin, blue eyes, and strawberry blonde hair with neon green coloured fingernails and toenails. She had a tattoo on the back of a feather with birds flying out of it. Investigators believe that the body would have been laying there for no more than an hour. Later that day, authorities identified the individual as 27-year-old Gina Majorano of Henniken, New Hampshire. An autopsy determined that Gina died from blunt impact head injuries. On the evening of Tuesday, the 6th of June, authorities arrested 30-year-old Thomas Hanley of Henniken, New Hampshire. He was charged with felony conduct after an accident, breach of bail and stalking. On Wednesday, the 7th of June, Thomas appeared in court. Prosecutors said the two were driving together when Gina somehow fell out of the vehicle. Instead of stopping to help, Thomas drove away and contacted police the next day. Defense attorney Meredith Lugo said it appears to be the working theory that unfortunately both of these individuals were at least allegedly significantly impaired by methamphetamine. Merrimack Superior Court Judge John Kissinger said, "However impaired somebody is, to drive away and leave them on the side of the highway is very concerning." Prosecutors said Thomas shouldn't have been in contact with Gina because of a prior restraining order. Meredith said that Thomas is clearly distraught by the situation. "He doesn't at all strike me as someone who is uncaring for the victim," she said. Thomas was released on a $5,000 bond and was ordered to be placed on electronic monitoring. He's scheduled to be back in court in August. In a Facebook post, Gina's aunt identified Thomas as the father of Gina's children. The investigation into the matter continues. 39-year-old Brandy Lynn Parker was arrested this week with the death of a 1-year-old child at their home in 2020. At around 10:40 a.m. on the 23rd of January 2020, authorities responded to a 911 call at Brookside Apartments in Lynchburg, Virginia on reports of an infant not breathing. Brandy told dispatch that a 2-year-old child fell asleep on top of a 1-year-old infant on the couch and that she found an infant stuck in the couch. When first responders arrived, they attempted life-saving measures on the unresponsive child. The baby was rushed to Lynchburg General Hospital, but was pronounced dead on arrival. Officers on scene detected an odour of alcohol coming from Brandy, and she admitted to consuming alcohol the previous night. Child Protective Services responded to the scene and submitted her to a preliminary breath test, which came back at .14. Brandy was the sole caretaker of the infant and the 2-year-old at the time of the infant's death. Authorities said that after a lengthy investigation, detectives determined that reckless disregard for human life contributed to the child's death. On Wednesday the 7th of June, Brandy was arrested and charged with felony murder and felony abuse and neglect. She's held at the Blue Ridge Regional Jail without bond. A 30-year-old woman is behind bars for fatally shooting a man and attempting to burn his body over a land dispute. At around 9 a.m. on Thursday the 1st of June, Dennis Berry called the Fulton County Sheriff's Office to report there was a body in front of his gate on Briarwood Road in Viola, Arkansas. When officers arrived at the property, they found the body of 59-year-old David Sutherland. He had at least one gunshot wound to his back. His head was severely beaten, had a piece of barbed wire around his neck, and an attempt was made to burn his body. Investigators collected pieces of evidence at the scene, including a partial can of lighter fluid. Dennis told investigators that Stacey Hickman was at his house on the 30th of May and borrowed his Ford Ranger. He asked David to follow her in his Dodge Caliber. Stacey and David had been around each other a lot and were reportedly friends. Soon after investigators found David's body, his car was reported stolen. Stacey returned Dennis's Ford on the 31st of May, but on the 2nd of June, a Salem Police Department officer saw Stacey inside David's car. The officer arrested her for theft by receiving. In an interview with detectives, Stacey reportedly confessed to shooting David and burning his body. She said she used the rifle that investigators found in Dennis's car. She claimed that David was trying to get some land that she was supposed to receive. On the 31st of May, Stacey texted her father writing, "Hey, it's on the property. Have a little issue, but I've taken care of it via loyalty to the land, and convo didn't go well. But I'll let you know I'll be there shortly. I'm fixing to pull in." Stacey was arrested and charged with first-degree murder, felony with firearm and abuse of a corpse. She's held at the Fulton County Jail on a $1 million bond.